Do you know what I just learned as far as getting mute and unmute? You don't have to go up and find that button. If you just push your space bar, that will unmute you, and then you take it off and you're muted again.
Wait, I'm gonna try it.
It's cool.
Maybe it doesn't work for host. Maybe it doesn't work for host. Probably. Does it work for you guys? Try it, please. Because that'd be a great tip.
No, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it works for me.
Are you on a Mac, Carol? Is it a Mac? I know Elizabeth does Mac. That's why I was thinking maybe.
Yeah, no, it's just an HP PC.
Huh. That's interesting. I wonder.
But you've got to hold it down. You can't just hold it and release it. You hold it down the whole time.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Try that, Ashley. And
Tracy. Start on mute, and then hold it down. It unmutes you while it's being pressed.
Oh, I see. See, I muted myself and I'm holding the space bar down and it. Now if I hold it down, will it mute me? Okay, so it's only if you're muted, you can hold the space bar down and talk, and then, oh gosh, Lisa. And then, uh-oh. I don't know what's happening. This is like wine 11 emergency. What is your problem?
So dumb. Okay, I'm about to leave. I'm leaving.
One of them has to leave. Okay, you poor thing. Anyway, so poor Amber is look apparently like busy mom, and she's like, "What are you crazy people doing?" So let's do some common questions, because I know she's on mute. She's got her hands full, just like we all do in this world. But and Amber, I think Tracy had said you guys have connected and talked some, so that's wonderful. So just real quick, I'm going to introduce. Well, there's not many of us on the call. We are our wine guides. We are from all over the country. So just real quick, since like I said, there's only a few of us, we could go ahead and introduce ourselves and just tell you maybe just one or two things about us or about the company, or maybe what we like best. And then we'll kind of just maybe do a couple little common questions, or you can type in the chat box, maybe something that you are interested in knowing more about. So Ashley, since you're to my right, why don't you tell us like where you live and what you do besides Traveling Vineyard, or that sort of thing.
So I'm Ashley Campbell. I live in New York on Long Island. I do Traveling Vineyard, side gig, part-time, whatever you want to call it. I am a full-time engineer for GE Aviation. So engineer by day, wino by night, as most of us are. And yeah, I've been doing Traveling Vineyard for 8 years now. And I've kind of done all different, there were times where I was unemployed, so this is my full-time job. There's been times where I've been employed, so I've been doing it part-time. There were times when I was pregnant and a new mom that I was like, yeah, can't do this right now. And it's really great because with Traveling Vineyard, you control how you work the business. So you flex it around your life instead of your life flexing around it. And it's really what's allowed me to do this for 8+ years now.
Mm-hmm. That's great. How about Carol, once you press that space bar down, that new trick we learned.
So hi, I'm Carol. I'm in North Carolina. I've been a wine guide for a little over 5 years. I joined because my daughter was my wine guide, and then she moved to Maine and she wasn't close enough. So it's like, hey, I can do this too. So I do the wine part-time. I'm retired. I love that aspect of it, but it also supports my habit of working with dog rescues. That's why I've got paws on my shirt right now. So it's a good way for me to supplement other things that I spend my money on.
Perfect. Tracy, how about you?
I am from Illinois, and it'll be 3 years in April that I signed up to be a wine guide. And I did it initially because I walked out on a very good paying job. And that's how I found Traveling Vineyard. And that's what I was telling Amber. And I had never even heard of Traveling Vineyard, let alone been to a wine tasting when I signed up. I just said, okay, I'll do it. And so I've learned as I went along. And I just like it because initially I signed up for financial, but I've met so many people since doing that. I've lived in the town that I live in now since '96, but I didn't work in this town. So I knew very few people. So by doing that, I've met a lot of people. Plus I like the extra income. So that's my thing about Traveling Vineyard.
And do we dare unmute Lisa?
Well, now there's only one.
Yeah, there's only one Lisa. So will the real Lisa please stand up? Please stand up. Are you able to unmute?
Hey!
Yes.
Oh my Lord. Can I just tell you, I'm getting a new computer and I'm getting new Wi-Fi in 4 days and it cannot come fast enough. Oh my gosh. So anyway.
Watch the recording that Kiersten took of the dual Lisas.
Well, and I was hearing you and like everybody was saying it twice. And so whatever was happening twice and it was like way too much stimulation. So I apologize. I have been on field hockey all afternoon. I'm a couple glasses into small hours. And so it's been a day. But my name is Lisa Gardner and I am a wine guide. So, we don't have any fun, just so you know. It's very boring. I've been a wine guide for about 3.5 years and I am in Maryland and I love it. I've had a lot of really boring jobs in my life and this is the best wine I've ever had. And I do it full time and I am a crazy full-time wine guide and I love it. I love my team and I love Grand Bin and I just love everything about it. So there you go. Cheers.
Well said. Yep. Cheers. Cheers to that. And sorry you've had such a crazy day. Small hours. That's a big, powerful wine. That should do the trick.
That should do it.
That's my husband's garden wine.
Well, I am Kiersten Ray-Kuhn. I live in O'Fallon, Missouri. It's outside of St. Louis. I've been a wine guide for, I think it's 17 years now this spring. So I like it just a little bit. You could say I run it full time. I always hate to say full time because it's not like a 40-hour-a-week job. It's really getting full-time income, but really doing it more part-time and all on my own schedule, like these other ladies had said too, which is a really nice thing being a mom. When I started, my kids were little and now they're pretty much, well, grown, operative word. Age-wise, they're grown, but you never stop getting to take care of your kids. So anyway, so it's been really great over the years, to meet people from all over the country, that we've got this team member support and fun that we've got. And then of course the income coming in from being able to share, wine with people and teach them about wine and, have that flexibility around schedules. So I know you didn't want to unmute, but are you able to type in the chat box? Because we would love to answer, questions that you are more interested in. If there's something in particular that maybe you and Tracy didn't already talk about, or, you hang up. Sometimes when you talk to somebody, you hang up and you think, darn it, I should have asked about, trip incentives or, quotas, or just something else pops into your mind as you're kind of maybe talking to other people, or I don't know, just whatever popped into your head. That's what this is about. You have all of us to answer your questions and whatever.
I'll unmute right quick with the kids being on the quieter side, but honestly, I think Miss Tracy answered all my questions. Really, like she gave me so much information and sent information through email, and we talked for a good bit today. So I honestly had no questions, but thank you.
Oh, great. Yeah, what are you kind of most excited about? What interested you the most about Traveling Vineyard?
I'm excited about learning more knowledge on wine, for one. I absolutely love wine, but I'm not very knowledgeable on it. And second of all, just gaining some friendship.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of traveling, so it's always exciting to meet new people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this will be a great opportunity for, because you'll meet wine guides, in the, like tonight, we're all like end up being friends. We've been on trips together, and in a few weeks I'll get to I'll see Carol and I'll see Ashley and I'll see Lisa when we do our leaders retreat. There's things like that. And then of course, online we do stuff like this. And so there's lots of different ways to, connect with other wine guides. And then you're going to make friends with hosts. You'll meet hosts that you end up connecting with and guests that end up being friends. There's lots of those connections too you can make with wine. It'll be fun for you. And of course, you're going to learn about it. And the best way to learn about it is to drink it, right? And we have all those tools for you.
Amber's never even attended an in-home party. She had just come across it. So she's like me. When I signed up, I knew nothing about Traveling Vineyard, let alone what a tastings was like.
And I'll tell you, I don't think that, well, Carol would have gone to Elizabeth's. Lisa, did you? I don't think you went to. Did you
Oh,
see
yeah,
a tasting?
Oh, yeah.
first?
So because Pennsylvania was closed when mom first started, so my mom is my upline. And so
So, yeah,
when
you
she
would've-
first started, Pennsylvania was closed. And so she came down to Maryland with all my friends and was doing tastings. And so I was like hanging out, drinking a lot of free wine for a long time before I became a wine guide. And then I took all her customers. Sorry, not sorry.
I don't think, I'm trying to think if your mom would have seen, I don't know that she would have seen a tasting.
He did not
right?
see. So my mom, Denise Dancy, she heard about the business and went to Harvest like 2 weeks later, sight unseen, never been to a tasting, never tasted the wine, and just knew it was an amazing experience and an amazing opportunity, and just jumped in both feet. And it's been 6 or 7 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Ashley,
thing-
you didn't see a tasting, did you? I'm trying to remember. I don't think you did.
Elizabeth posted in the Military Wives of Norfolk area Facebook page
Yeah.
about drinking wine and making money. And I went, woo.
You're like, hello. That's my people, right? And I didn't either. And it's pretty common. Most wine guides have not seen seen a tasting, a traveling vineyard tasting, I should say. And actually a lot of our most successful wine guides have never seen a tasting before they just jumped on and started doing it. I would say, if you can read from note cards and drink a glass of wine, you could do it. It's really not all that complicated, right? Sometimes we're starting something new is always kind of scary, but there's lots of support now, and even more each year that goes by, there's more support for us. But Carol was asking in the chat, where in North Carolina are you from, Amber?
I'm actually from Georgia, but I'm close. We're located close to Raleigh right now. My husband, he does construction work. So
Was it-
we travel every so often.
Is it just me, or is the video doing weird, or the sound doing weird? Okay, I wasn't sure it was mine. I kicked all my kids off their video games, so it shouldn't be doing weird stuff. But I think you're somewhere outside Raleigh?
Yes, ma'am, in a little bitty small town called Moncur.
Do you know that town, Carol? Because Carol might know that town. Maybe.
I've heard of it. I couldn't tell you how to get there, but I've heard of it.
Mhm. No.
So Amber, did Tracy tell you about Harvest?
We did not get that far into it yet. No. Well, I told her, yes, I just said I'm heading to North Carolina in July. That's all I got out of it.
So, Amber, you had said you wanted to, make new friends, you'll have to travel, and Harvest is where, you get to meet all these people in person. So every year, except for last year because of COVID, all of the wine guides will gather together in one spot, and we'll have our annual conference. And what the conference entails, there's some motivational speakers, there's business training, there's wine training, and then, couple parties, you get to meet all these people in person, and, make even more friends than what you've made. Yeah, that's fine. I've done one harvest pregnant, the other one I was too pregnant to travel. So, there's a lot of wine, and you don't realize it until you can't drink it.
I remember the harvest when you had your knee wasn't broken, but you had it in a brace. Remember that?
That was my very first
Was
harvest.
it your first? I thought it was first time. Yeah.
Because I was literally in a hip to ankle knee brace. I had sprained my knee. I was on crutches. I'm like, I am not flying my butt from Norfolk, Virginia to Boston, Massachusetts with these crutches. And one of the girls that she wasn't on my team, it was one of Wilma's downlines. And she wasn't on my team. She and I just become friends because we were in the same area. She was like, no, you're going. Like, I will, push your butt in a wheelchair through the airport or whatever. Like, you're going to Harvest. And I went, okay. And so I went, and it was so much fun. I made so many friends. Like, I'm so glad that I went. And the only Harvest that I missed was when I was pregnant with my son. I was 8 months pregnant, and I was supposed, Harvest was in Vegas, and I live in New York. So my doctor had actually cleared me to fly. And I probably would have gone if my husband could have come with me. But I had been on a couple work trips at 7 months pregnant, and I was like by myself, and it was just rough to be by yourself. But I'm like, if I had my husband there to help me, it would be great. But my husband couldn't come to Vegas, so I couldn't go to Vegas.
I mean, we were all ready to help her if she, went into labor. We were all ready.
Oh yeah, we had like
we were ready. We're gonna catch it and everything.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of my friends that do Traveling Vineyard, they're nurses. They're like, we'll dust off the OB knowledge and deliver the kit if you need it. No worries. In the middle of Caesar's Palace.
Is that Ashley? Is that the one where they had your stick face everywhere?
Yeah. Yeah. So since I couldn't go, a couple of the girls on my team printed out a couple pictures of me and put them on like big popsicle sticks. And my team was carrying me around all of Harvest. It was hilarious because like I was getting tagged in all of these Facebook pictures all in Vegas. And I'm like, no, I'm really in New York.
That was fun.
One question Amber did have for me was like support. And I told her everybody within Traveling Vineyard will help her. Not necessarily if I can't answer it, if she just asks other people's helping. And that's one good thing about this group is that each person helps each other get through it and learn with any questions.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Our team page has a wealth of knowledge. You can use a search bar. You can post pretty much at, I would say, almost any hour of the day or night. And because of time zone differences and people with work hours, it seems like there's always someone up, right? I mean, it seems like it. I mean,
yeah.
Because we are really a nationwide team. I mean, the company isn't saturated by any means, but we do have people from coast to coast. So there's a lot of really great leaders and very supportive people that are all about, helping each other and empowering people and just helping us all reach whatever level of success we feel we want to reach. So yeah, you definitely will have plenty of support. That's for sure.
That's one thing that's impressed me with everybody, all the other wine guides. There's no competition other than friendly competition, Lisa and Braden. But everybody is so willing to share what their success is and to share what hasn't worked. There's no, I succeeded in this and I'm not going to tell anybody. It's just amazing how everybody is so willing to help others.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever tried any other direct sales before, Amber?
I have tried Youthborn and Mary Kay. Hang on, baby.
Yeah, I think you'll find that the culture, if you might have seen some phrasing, or sometimes we talk about things about wine mama, like your upline. So Tracy would be your wine mama. Let's see, and Tracy, you're under Amy.
Right.
So then,
and then Melissa
would be the grandma, and then Melissa. So I'm like, what, your great grandma? Is that right? So it sounds, so at first glance, it kind of seems like, what, this is really weird. But when you think about the premise behind it, we really do consider ourselves family. And a lot of us, I mean, like Carol mentioned Lisa and Braden. So they're kind of like on sister teams. They're not like, they're all part of our Grand Vin team, but they're like on, like they're kind of like we call wine sisters. They're under two different like people, but they have become like family, to each other. I mean, they're best friends. They're very competitive with each other, but they help push each other to kind of go to those next levels. Oh, not at all. Yeah. She's like, no. But we have a lot of people that, do become just like family. So it makes sense that we would, instead of saying upline or downline, which sounds so cold, right? It does. It's like, that doesn't sound like something you want to be a part of. And we consider ourselves a lot more of a community. So that's why when you say wine mom, and I mean, I don't want to be called grandma, just so you know, just.
Give me a
But I mean,
grandma.
but that's why we use that phrasing, you know, so it's just a lot more of a welcoming kind of warm feeling to be like, you know, that's my wine mama or whatever, my wine sister, because we do really consider ourselves family supporting each other, except we're the family you want to be around and drink with, not because of, right? So,
And my daughter is my wine mama, so that's always a little confusing. She's my wine mama, but I'm a real mama. So.
isn't that fun?
And my mama is my wine mama.
True.
We like to keep it close.
Carol's daughter is my wine mama.
That's right. Yeah. It's
Carol's my wine sister, just to make things more confusing.
We're not incestuous though.
Oh boy, and someone that just joined us is probably like, wow, what did I just join? So welcome, Paige. You're welcome to unmute. You can share your video. You can be, you know, like a fly on the wall. That's fine too. Or you can unmute and ask us questions. Join the weird conversation.
Hey.
Hello. Hi, Paige.
I totally forgot that this was going on.
Oh, that's fine.
So I'm a little late.
Hi, Paige.
Hi.
And where are you from, Paige?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah. You getting any sun up there yet? Is the weather warmed up a little bit yet?
A little bit, but not every day. It's been pretty cloudy.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully
No
that
more
warm weather
snow
is.
though, right? No more snow?
No more snow though.
That's
Thank
good.
goodness. Yeah, most of it's melted. There's still a few dirty piles left, but
Isn't that gross? Like dirty snow is like, I love snow, but when it gets dirty, like on the side of the road and all that, you know, the road stuff gets on it.
yeah, gross.
Yeah. No one likes dirty.
Only time it's pretty is right after it falls, and then after that it's ugly.
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so I am interested in possibly joining Traveling Wine, and I don't really know if I have a lot of questions, but I guess, I mean, the biggest thing would be, you know, just kind of how it works. If you guys enjoy it, you know, what you like, the commission that you might make. I mean, I love wine, and I think it's a great excuse to have all kinds of parties with my friends and like family. So it's kind of what has drawn me into being interested.
Mhm. Perfect. Well, we don't have any fun. We just want to say that right off the bat, right? We all hate it.
Awful. Awful.
So before I forget, Paige, who invited you to join us tonight?
Oh no. It was Julie Wester.
Probably Weatherhold.
Yes, Weatherhold.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
perfect.
you pronounce that Lisa Gardner. That's how you pronounce it. Spelled incorrectly.
Well, that is, we were just talking about wine mamas and stuff. So so Julie would be when you sign up and join us, because you love wine and we are your people.
And that would be, and I would be your wine grandma, just so you know.
Okay. Okay.
So does anyone, Ashley, do you want to talk about the commission? Because you talked about, you know, like the commission levels. Ashley, do you want to kind of talk about what we can earn with the commission? Because I mean, we have fun. That's kind of like a no-brainer.
Fun is a no-brainer. Money is also great. So we, with the commission scale, you earn a certain percentage based off of how much wine you sell in the calendar month. So if you start off at 15%, if you sell more than $400 in the month, you're going to bump up to 20%. If you sell more than $1,250, you're going to bump up to 25%. And sorry, my husband just came in with my baby. If you sell more than $3,000 in the month, you're going to bump up to 30%. And if you sell more than $4,500, you bump up to 35%. Okay. And all of it's kind of back paid. So like we get paid 3 times in the month, on the 10th, the 15th, and the 25th.
Okay.
and everything's kind of back paid. So if you only sold like $200 in the first half of the month, but then you sold another like $2,000 in the second half of the month, you'll get the additional 10% that you made by bumping up. You'll get that back paid.
Okay, awesome. I guess on top of that, then how often do you guys kind of do like parties, or is it mostly, you host a, you do a party and then you just kind of have people who just want to keep buying from you, or are you guys pretty busy off like more like most of the time?
There's a lot of different levels of, like, some people, because we don't have any quotas, so you have some people that are doing a tasting every once in a while. You've got people that, like Lisa Gardner does quite a bit. So she's a, very active wine guide, so she's choosing to do a lot more tastings. And yeah, you do get a lot of repeat orders as well. It just kind of depends how much you are wanting to earn.
Okay.
Because you can set your own schedule, right? So there's no one that's going to say, oh my gosh, I gotta make my quota at the, this quarter, or, by the end of this month. So you can decide when you want to do your tastings. If you want to do 8 in a month, if you want to do 1 a month, totally up to you.
Okay, cool.
And there's a couple different ways that you can, get your sales and earn the money, because you can do tastings, you can do them in person, you can do them virtually. We also have our Rewind, which is the every other month wine subscription box. So if you get people to sign up for Rewind, that's, making money in your sleep, because every other month on the 15th of the month, their shipment goes out and you get the commission off of that. So there's that Rewind. And then we also have these things called sip kits, which are basically self-guided online wine tastings. So people can purchase a 3 or 5 bottle sip kit and do their own self-guided wine tasting, and they purchase it from you and you get the commission off that. And then lastly, there is Reorders. So the company will send out, what are they up to? They said 1 to 3 emails a week on our behalf to all of our customers. And that generates orders. And then also, you doing the customer service part of, oh, this wine is going low in inventory. Let me email my customers or text my customers that have purchased this to see if they want to reorder and that type of thing. So there's a bunch of different ways for you to earn money based on how you want to work the business.
Awesome. And I guess the last thing that like I said, I don't know all the questions, but the last one is, I have a full-time job. And so I just kind of want to do this for a little extra income and to have some fun. And I don't know, I guess, that's pretty much it. So does anyone else work like a full-time job and then do this on the side, or do you guys mostly do it as your full-time gig?
Yeah, Tracy, you want to answer it? Because you've got another job.
I work 40 hours a week, plus I do wine tastings. I do anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 a month, depending on when people want to book. And I also have my granddaughter 1 night a week. Last year, before my daughter graduated, I had 2 granddaughters 4 nights a week, and working full time and doing my wine business. So yeah, it's whatever you want to make it.
Yep. Awesome.
And Ashley has a big girl job too.
Yep, I have a full-time job, an engineer for GE Aviation, and I've been doing this, part-time on the side for 8 years, and I'm right now a Ruby director, so promoted up to one of the elite leaders in the company. So it is totally doable to, promote in the company if that's what you want. Working this part-time, so to speak.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I think I've been thinking about doing a direct sales, whether it's Mary Kay or Pure Romance, for a while, but for some odd reason they just didn't feel right. But this just feels like super cool and feels right for me. So I'm actually really interested.
Plus wine is consumable, so you're gonna get those repeat customers. Like, they're gonna drink a bottle of wine, and I have some customers that come back to me within weeks, and they're like, okay, I'm out, I'm a little embarrassed, but I'm out and I need more. So you know, the consumable piece of it is, you know, I think for, you know, direct sales, you know, our CEO is like, you know, you can only sell so many spatulas. Like once you sell a spatula, like you don't really need another one, but
Right.
you need another bottle of wine because you're going to drink it. So I think the consumable portion of it is really a really big perk for wine guides. And our wine is excellent. I mean, it's award-winning. It's made in small batches. There's no crap in it. Like it's just a good product. And once you get out there and your customers start seeing that, it's going to be really easy for you to create this customer base.
Plus,
Awesome.
it's not expensive. It's reasonable wine too. It's
Right.
very affordable.
Yeah, I looked into that and I saw, and some of them just sounded, I mean, I wanted to buy a whole bunch of bottles already. So, and I know Julie kind of told me the story behind how this started, and that it's grapes from small vineyards. So is that like around like the United States or around the world, or how does, I mean, what's kind of like the backstory?
Wait, I was looking at Ashley. I'm like, Ashley, do you want to talk more?
Yeah, sure.
You look like you did. Yeah.
Kind of got all the bottles right here.
I know. It's like she's got all the world's vineyards behind her. Right.
So our winemakers travel the world tasting grapes and juice from all different types of wineries. And then they purchase those grapes and then work with the growers to cultivate our wines. Sometimes they have the wines made at the vineyards where they've got the grapes. Sometimes they just have them pressed and then bring the juice to one of our facilities and we process the wine. But our winemakers are totally in control of the process of winemaking, regardless of where the wine is made. So right now in our inventory, we have wine from California, New York, Chile. No, wait, Reorders sold out. Cucharon's from Argentina. So we've got Argentina. We have wines coming in from Australia. Peekaboo's coming back. So that's Australia. We have wines from France. We have wines from Italy. We've got wines from Spain.
South Africa.
Do we have South Africa right now?
South Africa stateroom.
Stateroom,
Stateroom.
yes, you're right.
Yep.
So, so we've got wines from all over. Oh, Washington State.
Washington
We're
State.
big into Washington State right now, and Washington State has amazing wines.
Loving the Washington State
For
wines.
a few years when I was in the Navy, so I know. But yeah, so the wines come from all over, and what's really, really cool, like I love this about Traveling Vineyard. So we will have the same varietal sometimes, and it'll come from different regions, and it'll taste very different. Like before I tasted an Italian Pinot Grigio, I was not a Pinot Grigio drinker. I just didn't like it, but I had always been having California Pinot Grigios. When you side by side a California Pinot Grigio and an Italian Pinot Grigio, completely different wines. So like I now will drink a Pinot Grigio if it's from Italy. Whereas before Traveling Vineyard, I was like, all Pinot Grigios suck. So, you know, it's really great. And it's cool too for your customers, because I've always get that, like when I go to a wine tasting, when I used to do them in home, pre-COVID, I'd get that person that comes in that's like, I only drink reds and I'm not even going to taste the whites. And I'm like, well, you're getting it for free, so you're going to taste it, because who turns down free alcohol? And they go, okay, yeah, you've made a point. And then they place their order and they're ordering like 4 bottles of white and 2 bottles of red. So it's really cool, like to be able to do that.
Yeah, I like that. I love wine, but I don't know a whole lot about it. I feel like I'd be like the same way with you, like, oh, hate this. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just cool. Partially, I want to do this partially just so that I learn more about wine and I get to try all kinds of wine. But yeah, so it just is awesome.
Yeah,
Nice
being able to
perk,
drink
too.
on the job is the best part of this job.
You're going to get a 20% discount too. So you're going to get that discount. And there is tons of like wine information on each of the actual bottles of wine we have. And then there's lots of general information too that you can learn, wine 101 stuff too, that you can also, take advantage of. Yeah, you'll learn tons.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a fun way to learn. I
Paige,
mean,
were
you're
you
making
a,
money at the same time. It's great. So
Paige, were you a host of Julie's or are you a corporate lead of Julie's?
I am nothing. I just reached out found Traveling Vineyard online and then just reached out, and Julie was basically assigned to reach out to me, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay, awesome. Very cool. Well, she's awesome and amazing and wonderful. So you've definitely got a great wine guide in your corner for sure.
Plus we have Crush coming up. So if they sign up before Crush, they could probably still attend our Crush, couldn't they?
yes, absolutely. So Tracy, do you want to talk about Crush since you brought that up? What Crush is?
Sure. Crush is our regional. I've
I
only
like
been
put
to
you on
just
the
a few.
spot.
Yeah. Crush is our regional. We sometimes get together in small groups, but with COVID, we're doing it virtually like we did in September. We have them twice a year in the spring and in the fall. And there's lots of training that they go through. And you may hear some of the things over either at Crush or at Harvest, but there's other things that you still pick up on that you may not, or at least I do. I've heard, Lori Stryker, I love listening to her. She's very knowledgeable and I always pick up something new from her when she speaks. But we get to sample wines. They give us some tips and tell us about new things that's going to come out. And it's just a good time. I miss not getting with everybody, or when I say not everybody, but even in our small groups, just seeing everybody. But it's actually going to work out this time really good because my granddaughter, I'm going to be in St. Charles. No, where am I being at? My granddaughter has a tumbling competition, state tumbling. Oh, in Glen Carbon. So I'm going to take my iPad and my headphones and watch her when I can, and then be on my Crush while I'm in Glen Carbon.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
but,
that's awesome. Yeah, and that's nice because virtually you can take it with you.
Yeah.
A little training there with you. So that's Saturday, April 17th. And I was trying to pull up the training list they have, but they'll be training on bookings with two wine guides that have had, a tremendous amount of bookings this year. They're have training on team building. They're going to have what we call text and taste events. So there's people that are running events just from texting. Decider events, which is when you can host an event and get a discount. And then wine tasting and somology with our wine director of somology, Leslie Sabraco. And then Rewind, which is our wine subscription that Ashley was talking about before, which it's already discounted, our wine subscription, that Rewind, but then Wine Guides, you get another 20% off of it. It's like, it is one of our biggest perks. And it makes me sad when I see Wine Guides that don't take advantage of that. It's the best perk we have. It's already discounted and you get another 20% off of it. It's like they're paying you
and
to
then
drink.
you know how to market it.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. You need to subscribe to it so you know how to market it.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, and then I guess since you brought it up, so can I just get like a little bit more information on this, the somology you said it is?
Mm-hmm. Who wants to talk about somology, which is the pairing of wine and food? Does anyone feel passionate about that? Carol's looking around like, anyone around me? Anyone? Bueller?
I'm looking at all my dogs making noises, which is
I know,
why
I'm teasing. I saw the cute little dog in your lap. It looked like it had part Frenchie in it. His ears looked a little Frenchy.
he's our current foster. Yeah, I don't know what he is.
Yeah, it looks like he might have some French bulldog in him. Might have to steal him. Lisa, what about you? Do you want to talk a little bit about somology, what it is?
Sure. Somology is the food and wine, which is my favorite part of the whole wine business, is when you can pair wine and food together, right? So we have this phenomenal system that we have, like this whole huge database of all of our wines are paired with all of these different foods, and it makes it really easy for our hosts to choose something for their tasting. So when we go back to in-person tastings, you bring your 5 bottles of wine for free to the host, and then you give them some suggestions on what to bring for pairings. And it's everything from, dark chocolate, potato chips, to entrees, cheeses, desserts, to cocktails. And so it makes it really easy. And hold on a moment. This is one of our bottles here. And so what's really cool is that every bottle has this QR code. You see that QR code right there?
Yeah.
You just take a picture of that and it has all of the recipes and pairings for every wine. And so you can sound really smart at your next dinner party, right?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's everybody loves, they love the education. It's all fun, we want to learn stuff. But once you start pairing our wines with the different foods, and the food enhances the wine or the wine enhances the food, it just brings it to a whole nother level. Yeah, it's mind blowing. Like Carol, just mind blowing.
Yeah. And I think all of us here, that are wine guides can say that, there's been many times at tastings. Well, like Ashley was kind of saying, people that come in and say, I'm not going to drink that white wine or whatever. So, I mean, a lot of times we hear people that come in and say, I don't like red wines. Red wines are grouse, and they do stuff like that. And it's when they pair it with the right food or they have it at the right temperature. I've had so many years, I've had people come in that go, wait a minute, I actually like red wine. I found a red wine I like.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's really fun to see people's eyes, that they just, like Carol was doing, the mind blowing. Like, they're like, I didn't know I could like a red wine. It's like, it's way better than gas station wine.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah, all the time.
It's fun to open people's minds up, because a lot of times people, they buy the same 2 bottles of wine at the store because it's safe, because no one wants to go spend $15-20 on a bottle of wine they've never had to dump it down the drain, right? And so they get to try before they buy it, or tastings, and then they're doing food and wine, which is like 1 + 1 = 3 when you pair that food and wine. It is really just magical. It should be called like magicalmology or something.
Yeah, no,
But it is really cool.
I love going to wineries because of the tastings, and I always leave with like 4 bottles, and I try different things. And that's why I think this is just so cool, because it's literally like it's like wineries to your house. So it just is awesome.
Yep, exactly. It gets you kind of out of trying, gets you out of those normal varietals. Everybody knows Cab and Chardonnay and Pinot Grigio, and instead you can try some ones you've never heard, like Tannat or Torrontés, or, just some other ones you've never heard of. There's so many wines out there. So many wines, so little time.
I also think what we do is more than a winery, because a winery just talks about their food. Maybe they give you a little bit of saltines or something.
Right.
But it's that, as Lisa mentioned, it's that whole somology aspect of it. It's a little bit of wine knowledge, wine facts, edutainment, and educational and entertaining as well. It's so much more than a winery, and it's free.
Absolutely.
I remember when I first became a wine guide, my husband and I went to Hershey for the wine trail. And I was like, okay, this is going to be great. We're going to do like the wine tasting. We're going to get some food, and it's going to be really awesome. And we get to the first one, and they give us a little plastic glass. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And so they give us the wine. We got no food. Go to the next one. I got like a cracker. We go to and I would ask them, I'm like, so what do you like? What do you know about this wine? And they're like, yeah, I'm just pouring it. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have such a great service that we give to people. We're doing food, we're giving knowledge, like the whole package. Like, yeah, you can go to a winery and get like the ambiance, but you can also have all of your friends together and just learn and have fun and be casual and relaxed and laid back. And they didn't know what the heck they were doing, and they weren't giving me any food.
Lisa gets hangry, in case you haven't noticed.
Oh, I mean, I feel it. So it's great.
And I do want to point out, like, we talk a lot about food and wine pairing. We do, I mean, you can, if you wanted to bring a food pairing to a tasting, but most time we, have the host provide very simple food pairings, and it's nothing fancy. You can have them do goldfish crackers, potato chips, cheese stick, you can make it very simple. And some hosts want to do more, and that's fine too, but it doesn't have to, cost them an arm and a leg. Or if you're doing your own first event, doing a launch event, you can go kind of as fancy as you want, but it should be about the wine, not as much about the food. And sometimes the simplest foods kind of make the biggest impact, with that teaching tool. But again, we have all that stuff for you. Like, you plug in the wine and it says, here you go, this is what you can do. Pair this with ice cream, pair this with a macadamia nut and things like that. So you don't have to memorize anything. You don't really have to know anything about wine. You can just hit a button and boom, it's there for you.
Mhm.
And your friends can totally challenge you too. We have like pantry challenges that we do, and you can have them like, you know, give you a food. If you have a food, I can pair it with a wine like that. Like, you know, let's do it.
Mhm.
Do it.
Let's do it.
I don't know. Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Roasted red
Like
potatoes.
potato salad. I've seen that in the Smology for some of our.
What
I'm
about
like,
What are they,
like
Kiersten?
Do what?
roasted,
seen it.
garlic roasted potatoes?
Ooh, that sounds good. A garlic roasted potatoes. Is it gonna be like creamy though? It's not gonna be creamy, right?
No, just like cut them up and throw them in the oven.
Jack
Garlic.
Canyon.
It'd be
Malbec.
like Steeple Street Chardonnay, wouldn't you? Like a
Oh,
Chardonnay,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would do like a Malbec because of the garlic.
Ooh.
Yeah. And a potato, it's earthy, right? So it's an earthy vegetable. Yeah.
Yep.
Good point, Ashley. That'd be good too.
Here,
See,
wait,
you can't beat it. You like, hello.
And we're coming with that on the top of our heads because we've been doing this a long time. So as a newer wine guide, we have what's called a reverse Smology tool where you can go in on our website and you hit in like, it's three main things. I think it asks what type. I have not used it a lot. I've shared it a lot, but
It's the meat. Like you can use the meat. Like, is it a poultry, seafood?
yeah, and like
meat?
seasoning.
Yeah,
something
seasoning,
else.
sauce. Yeah.
Right.
So for Jack Canyon, we've got apple mashed potatoes. We've got potato salad. Let's see. Nope, that's a cornbread casserole. What other potato dishes do we have here?
Yeah, there's probably something about fried. I would think something like a fried. Is there a fried potato? Well, French fries. I know there's French fries comes up a lot in that Smology stuff. There's a lot of bird pairings, and French fries comes up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have this really great tool when we pick the wines for the host, then we can go through and pick, you know, the small bites or light bites, the
White baked potato.
got a baked potato. What does baked potato pair with?
A twice baked potato came up for Jack Canyon.
I could see that.
Huh.
Because it's gonna have like bacon and the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are making me hungry. I had like half a little piece of salmon for dinner. Gotta get rid of the COVID-19.
I like that.
I had pizza I had to have pizza because my daughter is in a foods class and she had to make pizza for dinner. So
You
I
had to
had
have.
small hours.
Have pizza.
I had to. You have to support your children.
I love that. That's funny.
We had pizza because I have a 5-year-old and I'm tired of fighting him to eat stuff. So I said, here, eat pizza because I'm not fighting you to eat dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Well, if eating pizza is the worst thing, then I think it's okay.
There's a lot more. Yeah, that's not too bad. So
Awesome.
Paige or Amber, any other questions kind of popping out for you?
I don't think so. I'll probably
In
just
case
reach
you're
back out to
wondering,
you.
we do have fun. We
Yeah.
have a lot of fun.
Don't
Whether
tell our
it's just
secrets.
us- What's that? No secrets?
Don't tell our secrets.
Oh.
We don't have any fun.
Paige, I hope to see you on the team.
I will definitely probably reach out to Julie and, you know, figure out and how, like when and how exactly to get started. So
Awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be the next step. So if you think you're ready, you know, you can, you know, Paige, you would, you know, reach out to Julie and just let her know you got on our crazy little call and you're like, those people are nuts. They're my people.
They like food. They really like food and potatoes.
They're really hungry and they need to eat dinner before the call. So yeah, they talk a lot about potatoes. Hey, I'm in the Midwest. We eat potatoes. Just saying.
Yes.
It's
And
potatoes.
Dave, and
Right?
Oh,
Tracy's
Dave.
like,
Yep, when you guys join, make sure to ask Kiersten about the potato game that she plays.
Yes.
yeah, be like, what's the potato game? Oh goodness. But yeah, so you would want to reach out to Julie and she'll help you kind of decide, you know, maybe which kid is best for you and, you know, get you started. Because now is like a perfect time because, you know, spring, people want to get together, whether it's virtual or in home. I mean, it's time. Like people are wanting to, you know, hang out.
yeah, and it's getting warmer out. So I mean,
Yes.
even, you know, cooler nights or like warmer nights, but being outside even would be great. Just drinking some wine. So yeah,
Fire pit.
super-
You could be around the fire pit. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yep, it's time. And of course, Amber, you can, you know, Tracy will be there. I know she's already answered a lot of your questions and you're like, oh my gosh, is this over yet? I got to put kids to bed.
Amber,
But
what's
yes,
your child's name? Girl?
Yes, and I have a little girl named Harper, and my son is about to be 5, and his name is Hart.
Heart.
cute.
And she's 2.
Aw. 5 and 2. Yep, you need wine. You need wine. You need wine. We got you. Yeah, so Tracy can, kind of talk to you a little bit more specifically, for your needs of what kit might work best for you too.
I sent her information. I emailed that to her on all 3 kits today. So she's got that information to look at.
Yeah. So any other last minute questions before we?
I don't, not for me.
Okay. Amber says no. Lisa, you gonna go eat some more pizza? Or are you done eating pizza?
No, I'm gonna go finish off that wine.
Oh, goodness. Well, thanks for everyone for joining us tonight. I hope to see you on our team board. And when you join, be like, I hear y'all like potatoes. Wouldn't that be funny? When we're like, code word potatoes. We were on the potato call.
It was the only thing I could see from where I was sitting.
Yeah. That'd be really funny. And we'll all of us will welcome you with emojis of potatoes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love it.
There we go. That's how we roll. We have fun, we work hard and play hard. So that's what we do. It's Friday, right? So
Yes.
anyway, so enjoy your night. Thank you for joining us, Paige and Amber, and thank you to my little fellow wine guides for joining as well.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
everybody.
Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.